What is up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Not So Stupid Podcast. Today, we're going to be breaking down 5 super helpful tips to help you fall in love with exercise again, to help you enjoy working out and exercising again. Because for a lot of people that, especially more recently when after all the COVID happened, all the COVID happened, that's a funny sentence. After all the COVID happened and the gyms were shut down and people were stuck at home for a little bit, the will and desire to get up and move again was lost. Your love for working out or your momentum to work out that you created pre gyms closing and everything was lost, and you need to refill or reignite that flame underneath you to push forward and get back into the routine and love actually doing it, and not just love actually doing it, but want to actually do it. And for a lot of people, especially new people, they struggle with not just getting started, but staying consistent and enjoying it as well, especially early on. So we're gonna break down 5 big hacks to helping you enjoy exercise again and want to work out more frequently. So getting right into it, the first one is going to be changing your beliefs around working out. So a lot of the resistance that happens that holds you back from working out consistently is you have a negative feeling around working out. You think about having to work out, you think about needing to work out, and it automatically causes you to shudder. You get, your skin starts crawling, you really don't want to do it, and you just have the word working out has a negative connotation to it. And when you see these other people that go to the gym consistently, they can't live without the gym. They can't live without the gym. They need to be out there. And if they're not there, their day is ruined. They have such a positive belief, positive connotation around working out. And that creates a disconnect between you and them. It's like, what's wrong with me that I can't feel that way, the same way they do about it? And a lot of the time, this comes from one or a couple experiences that happened earlier on in your life that stuck with you and led you to hold on to this negative belief. Now, an example of this would be I've had several clients throughout my time as a coach, aged as young as 25 and as old as 40, that come to me talking about their high school experiences with training, their high school experiences of working out in PE class, and how they hated it. Their teacher sucked. He made it miserable for them. They had to run and they were forced to do these activities that they didn't really like, and that just stuck to them. Now, whenever they get their heart rate elevated, they think about those moments, and it just naturally causes them to feel negatively toward it. And that obviously held on. They held on to that for so many years now, and it's gotten them to a point where they just don't work out because of it. So when you have this negative emotion, this negative belief towards something, find out what that root thing was that led you to this belief in the first place, and kind of compounded over time to lead you to not like it right now. And once you find that out, you can then shift that perspective and be like, okay, that was an old perspective with someone that wasn't appropriate for me in an activity that I didn't like, and now I have the control to choose how I'm going to work out, choose how I'm going to be active, and choose who I surround myself or work with for my exercise goals. And when you put the power back in your hands in that regard, you can start creating that momentum to build a positive routine and work out regularly and actually like doing it. And that kind of leads to the next point that I have, which is shifting the focus of your training. So we have this belief that if you work out, for a lot of people, they want to start working out because they want to lose weight. They don't like the way they look. They maybe have a lot of pain in their joints, and they know that if I were to move my joints more, if I worked out more, I would have less pain, I'd feel better as a person. So they're using training, they're using working out as a means to an end. They're looking at it as, I need to do this, I need to do this so that I can get to this, instead of viewing the workout as the end itself. So what this does is it creates a disconnect when you don't see those results immediately, because those results are never going to come immediately. They're not going to come from one workout. One workout isn't going to cancel 10 years of inactivity or 10 years of bad posture on your desk. It's not going to do that. What is going to do that is consistently training, consistently working out, consistently showing up for yourself. And that starts with wanting to do each workout for the sake of wanting to do that particular workout. So instead of viewing it as a chore that you have to do to reach this end of losing weight, this end of feeling better, think of it as more of a blessing, because that's what it is. You get to do this. You don't have to do this. You can go on continuing not doing it like you have been for so long, but you actually get to do this. You have the, you know, the special privilege of getting to do this, of having the blessing to pursue working out, celebrating your body and what it's capable of doing, and celebrating yourself and what you're capable of doing as well. And viewing it in that light, again, sheds positivity on it. It takes away the negative belief of this being a chore that, again, you have to do, to something you get to do and you get to reward yourself for. And on that note of using this as the end itself as opposed to a means to an end, rewarding yourself for showing up to work out, rewarding yourself for leveling up in your lifts if you're going to be weightlifting, or leveling up how far you run or how fast you run if you're going to be a cardio junkie. Any of those things, don't reward what you get out of it, reward what you're doing. So again, becoming process focused with your goal setting, becoming process focused with the training, and becoming process focused with how you reward yourself is going to shift everything entirely for you. Because now, instead of, again, seeing working out as this long time thing that you have to endure, it's this enjoyable benchmark that you get to do multiple times a week to see how well you're doing, to see how much better you're improving, to see how capable you are of things that you didn't know you were capable of before. So treating each workout as that blessing, as that reward, as opposed to being again, the means to the end. It is the end itself, and you can enjoy it for that. And on that note, going on to the next point, it is finding the right workout for you. Because when I mention some of these things, maybe you hate the idea of running multiple miles. Maybe you hate the idea of lifting really heavy right now. And maybe you might have this preconceived notion that you need to work out for 60 minutes today and do all these different lifts if you want to be successful. In reality, you don't have to do anything, for one, but for two, you can start exactly where you're at and exactly where you're comfortable with to build that foundation and break free from that first impression you have for yourself. So again, if you think about working out and you imagine it to be a 1 hour run every morning, that's a lot of parameters that you feel like you need to meet. You need to work out in the morning, you need to work out for an hour, you need to be running the entire time. That's like 3 things, if you've never done or haven't done for a long time, is impossible for you to do from just from getting up off your couch. So instead of looking at it that way, say, how about I do a run for as long as I can today, and then I'll repeat that tomorrow. Maybe that run is only 2 minutes long. A 2-minute run is a really long run, especially if you're putting forth full effort. But doing a 2-minute run is a start. That's what you're capable of doing. That's what you feel comfortable doing, and that's what you're able to do with your schedule, let's say. That's what you're willing to commit right now until you get more used to it. That's a start. That is more than enough for you to get things going, get the ball rolling. And once you feel comfortable doing that, then you can level it up. Then you can go to a 10-minute run a month later, a 20-minute run 2 months later, and then eventually that 1 hour run that you thought of doing. Likewise with training, like I mentioned earlier, maybe you think you need to be at the gym for 60, 90 minutes, 2 hours to do all these kinds of lifts and tire yourself out, get exhausted, and then leave. But really, again, you just have to do something. You can go in there for 20 minutes, do 2 or 3 lifts, and go home. Hell, you can even go in there for 5 minutes and do 1 lift. If you're really intimidated by the gym and this is a really new thing for you, you could do 1 lift, do that lift really well, and then go home. It might seem like nothing, essentially, because you're only doing 1 lift, is what you'll want to tell yourself and that's the logic you'll use to talk yourself out of it. But in reality, you're doing more than you would have done otherwise, and you created more comfort and you created more comfort around that exercise itself. And now next time when you go to the gym, you could do that exercise plus another one. So you're adding 5 minutes to your routine, and eventually you'll be able to do a full workout. Again, you don't need to do everything all at once to get started. And you don't need to follow that impression that you might have about working out to start off. It's more than what your first impression is. It's just moving, anything that gets your heart rate up, anything that gets you active, whether that's hiking. Oh, and I should also say, finding the right workout to you, scale to you, is, it's more than just the length and the what you're familiar with in the gym. It's also like what you enjoy and what you like to do. So it could be hiking, it could be doing karate, it could be gymnastics. If you want to go back to those old dreams of being a gymnast that you used to have when you were younger, and you want to practice it again, that is something too. It's literally, there's so many different ways to move your body. There's so many different ways to be active. There's so many different ways to challenge yourself and become a better physical human being and physiological human being, a healthier human being, than just lifting weights or running. You have so many options. Don't be afraid to try those new things, which is the next point. Don't be afraid to try those new things and different variations of those things. You likely won't, you might, but you likely won't find the perfect plan for yourself the first time you try. Maybe not even the first couple times you try. First few times, maybe the first dozen times. But if you keep trying new things, keep experimenting, finding out the different aspects you enjoy, you can eventually find something that you love and you actually want to do and you're willing to do more often. So for some people, they can't get into the routine of working out on their own. So they do a group fitness class. And then they get familiar with the group fitness class, they get familiar with the people there, they get familiar with doing different exercises and movements, they see some results, they get a good sweat going, and that creates momentum and that creates confidence for them to try something else. When I was a coach when I was a personal trainer at my local box gym, I coached a good number of classes throughout the week. And it was usually all the same women out there that would only come to do the classes. And the reason they only came to do the classes is because they didn't have the confidence to, go out onto the floor and do things on their own a majority of the time. But once they showed up enough, they wanted to venture out and try different things. And then they started wanting to get a trainer and do these individualized workouts for themselves, which yielded more benefits for them. But when they started off, when they were first going to the gym, they couldn't imagine doing that. But after going to the classes for a period of time and realized they needed something more specific for their goals, then they ventured off into doing what was right for their needs. But it didn't start off that way. And you don't need to start off that way. You just need to start off doing something. And that's the most important thing that I'm trying to get across here, is start off doing something at a magnitude that you are capable of doing and are comfortable doing. 5 minutes of 1 or 2 exercises, 5 minutes of running. Again, it's not a huge time commitment, but it is going to yield significant change for you going down the line. And the most important thing, if you're trying to build a new habit, is repetition. So if you are repeating an activity long enough, so let's say running 5 minutes right after work, that is, you do that enough times, your body is going to want to naturally do that because you've instilled a routine. Just keep repeating it, and then keep growing and building off of it. You'll have that new routine. Your body's going to want to do that. You're mentally going to want to do that because now you're used to this thing that you're doing. It doesn't matter how much of it you do. It matters that you do it repeatedly. And that's like the mental way, the mental trick, habitual way to get you to do this for the long run, is just doing it consistently, no matter how much of it you do or how little of it you do. Just get up and do it consistently. So that was 4 tips and hacks so far. Changing the beliefs around working out, shifting your focus, finding the right workout for you, adjusted to you, and finding what you enjoy the most as well. Now, the last one is making the environment inviting. And the environment can mean a few different things. One is really easy, is music. We all love good workout playlists. They pump us up, they get us excited to work out, they make us want to go work out. But the benefits of music go way beyond that. In fact, as far as like performance enhancing substances go, legal performance enhancing substances, I should say, between caffeine, beta-alanine, pre-workouts, things like that, all these supplements, music has been shown to be the most effective in so many fronts compared to these. It's been shown to make you more resistant to fatigue and pain, increases your focus, increases your ability to remember stuff, improves your empathy and courage. And the best part is, as opposed to any of these, substances I mentioned earlier, caffeine, beta-alanine, things like that, it doesn't lose its potency over time. Especially if you keep the music fresh, you're getting a new playlist every time. You're always going to have a good, strong reaction to music, and that's just going to get you wired and going to push yourself further in your workouts and get to working out. Another thing that you could do to make the environment more inviting for yourself to want to work out more is getting fun clothes for yourself. If you are just using regular old clothes that you use to lounge around at home, putting those clothes on are gonna tell your brain that I'm gonna lounge around right now. But when you have dedicated workout clothes, when you have clothes that are new, you're excited to wear, you look good in them, you feel good in them, and you know that you're gonna wear these in the gym, you have the intention of wearing them into the gym, now when you put them on, your brain is gonna think, hell yeah, it's time to work out. I'm ready to work out. This is actually a little trick that I use for a lot of my clients when gyms were closed once again in COVID, to help them get in the mindset of working out. Put on your workout clothes when you're trying to work out. This is, like I said, especially potent for home workouts. You want to get your brain primed to thinking you're going to work out. Putting on, your yoga pants, putting on your shoes, your gym shoes, putting on your nice little tank top, all of those things put together, your brain's thinking, damn, it's time to work out. Your body's thinking, damn, it's time to work out. And now when you start your workout, you're in the workout zone. You're not going to be tempted to lean onto the couch to do your home workout because you're not wearing your lounging clothes. And then the last thing that is going to help make your environment inviting, these aren't the only 3 things I should say. There is a lot of things. These are just the 3 biggest things and easiest to work with, in my opinion, is having great partners, having great people to motivate you and push you and encourage you to work out. Whether that is a workout partner or getting a coach, finding a formal source of accountability, or having people around you at home encourage you to work out or pump up your environment to work you out. I had a client last year during the COVID time when we were all working out at home. She really struggled with trying to get to work out in the morning before work. So what she did was she got her 5-year-old or 7-year-old, I think she was, to work out with her. And, they made a whole routine out of it. They got up, hyped themselves up. They pushed through different exercises and became like a nice bonding moment for mother and daughter. And that helped her get up and work out every morning. And whenever she didn't want to, her daughter got her up and working out every morning because she wanted to do it. She wanted to spend time with her mom and have fun and do those things. So you can get a little creative with these different ways to help you stay accountable. But at the end of the day, if I wanted you to choose one of these things to help you get into the routine of working out and enjoying working out again, it would definitely be shifting the belief and shifting the focus. Shifting the focus specifically. So don't look at it as something you have to do. Don't look at it as something you need to do to accomplish something. It's not a chore. This is, again, a blessing. You should be grateful for this opportunity, for the ability to be able to move your body and do what you can with your body, and use that as the benchmark day to day, week to week, to help you improve. So instead of looking at the results that come from working out, look at the workout itself and see how you can do better with that. See that as the actual accomplishment and not the weight loss. Obviously, at some point, the weight loss is going to come. But if you want to make a routine out of yourself, if you want to build these healthy habits and stay active, you have to enjoy and challenge yourself with what you're doing right now first. So thank you guys for listening to these top 5 tips. If you enjoyed this, or you know a friend that is going to find value in this, please be sure to share with them. I would really appreciate that. It would definitely help the show grow more and help me make a better show for you guys. But thank you again for listening to this podcast, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.